OK， 我们这个我今天在准备这个 slide 的时候，我回首一看，我们也 run 了2年了啊，也不容易，非常感谢大家的支持。OK， 今天呢是1月份的一个 monthly meeting 我们是 virtual chapter 的一员，大概网上有那么在 SQL Pass 的网站，你可以发现这么几个将近20几个 virtual chapter， 那么我们其中之一，这个是 virtual chapter online 的一些 meeting， 大家可以去看一下 sqpass.org， 这个是 online 的，如果时间对，如果语言对，你是可以免费的，你可以去听的SQL Saturday one day free training， 很多人都知道，如果你不知道呢，你可以看一下到 sqlsaturday.com 上面去 check 一下你身边的，我相信你只要在美国基本上都有，加拿大我不太清楚，全世界各地都有。右侧是那个 international， 上海5月份有上海是唯一一个有那个 SQL Saturday 在中国地区有的。那左侧呢是我的 North America 的地方，所以呢这个月底 Austin 我有可能去有可能不去，我还没决定这个情况，所以大家可以 check 一下你身边的一个 SQL Saturday， It's a free training, one day free training。 Pass BA 的 meeting 今年是4月20号到22号2015年在那个 California 如果你有兴趣你可以 check 一下这个网站。 OK， Past recordings 我上个星期把那个 SQL Pass BA 的所有的 recording 我全部 download 下来，一个一个 download 下来 upload 到百度的云盘上了。所有人给我写 email 你要下载的，我会给你一个 link 加上一个密码，你可以去取百度的云盘里面去取。以前我们用 FTP 的，那么最近我们在看其他 solution 百度云盘确实是不错的东西，我当然不帮他做广告，它是免费的给你，我忘了2个 T 吧，好像给我2个 T， 那2个 T 我放东西是足够了。这个我上传上去是17个 G SQL Pass BA， 所以大家可以免费的去拿，我应该不会删，但是你会还是能够拿掉，你想看的看一下很多不错的资料。那 SQL Pass 2014的所有的 session 它是一个光盘的形式，它有个 start to page， 我今天下午收到的那个 USB OK， 我今天下午收到 USB， 所以现在 right now it's uploading OK， 现在 right now it's uploading， 那么我估计我这个机器得开3天它可以帮我 upload 完，很慢。我上次 upload 17 G 到百度云盘用了2天，我这个是30 G 的，30 G 我看了一下30 G。那么如果你喜欢的，你想拿到一个 USB 的 copy 的，我们charge30块钱，因为我需要帮你买一个 USB 和 mailing， 所以 it's option for you。所以如果你不想 download， 你想 keep 一个 physical copy 我可以帮你寄copy 这个32 G 的一个 Kingston 的 USB 加上 mailing 的 fee， 我们 charge 一些这个 handling 的一些成本费30块钱。所以如果你不想，你也没必要支付，如果你觉得没有必要支付的，你也 it's okay， 等个3到5天我会把它 upload 上去，然后我会发 link， 关注一下我们的那个 CQ LinkedIn 的那个消息，我会给大家的coming the sessions， 我们这个 group coming the sessions Serena 今天讲她的2个 session 的其中之一个 how to start， 第二个她还有个 continued topic， 在1月底的 January， 应该在第4个星期我基本上排好了。那么Even 陈是我们 Pass 上认识一个朋友他是 PhD 水平也非常的高，我跟他聊了一会儿，他在2月份会给我们讲一个 predictive analytics用 Microsoft 的 tool， 所以如果你感兴趣关注一下我们的这个东西。SSAS Tabular 呢，我有可能会讲一个 session， 我现在在看一些不同的 use case 怎么总结起来弄一个 session 如果大家感兴趣的话。那么 Sherry Lee 我还回来过了年回来还没联系他，我会联系他一下。Anyway， 这个 slide 不是太新，2个确定的事情是1月底有一个 Big Data Session， 2月份我们有个 Predictive 的 Analytic 的Session。Community Plan 我已经 post 在那边，如果大家有那个 feedback comments whatever， 你可以给我一个 email。 我特别想讲的呢是这个我们的 incentive program 每个 technical speaker for example 今天的 Serena 我会给他50个 credits， 那么 Amazon gift card attendee 我们会刚才我给你秀过了，有个 random.org， 我会抽一个 random 的 number， 好几个条件你要满足：一，你参加我们 session； 二，你帮助我们完成一个2分钟的 survey， 那么你给我的留下来的 email address 是 valid 的，那么我会到时候联系你的，我会把这个25块钱给你的。上一期是 Phoenix 的戴同学拿到的，所以我每周其实我们都有这个 balance sheet 和那个 cash flow 的，我会把这个 slide 发出来，这个是一个 link， 你可以去看我们钱的来源和我们钱是怎么用掉的。OK， Alright， 这个是这个如果你还不在我们的 LinkedIn group 呢欢迎你加入我们的 LinkedIn group， 看一下对于我的东西呢就这么多，看一下大家有没有问题。Alright， 好，如果大家没有问题呢，我就把我们今天的 speaker 请出来今天45个人在线非常感谢大家的热情。Serena。Hey Serena， 我把你的麦克风打开了，现在你是 presenter， 你可以 share 一下你的桌面。
大家可以听到我讲话吗？
可以的，我这边是可以的。
Perfect. Okay. I just share my desktop. 感谢Derek 的 organize this session for me. A short introduction for myself. 我是I work for a finance company. Our company starts our Hadoop journey back to 2011. At the beginning of 2011, 我们started very small team, like 30 people. So we find all the user cases trying to say, okay, which way we'll go for design our new data platform for the company. 直到2012年，我们finished all the kinds of the POC. Okay, we start at the roadmap. It's 5 years technology target architecture for building the Hadoop platform, enterprise level. We call it Enterprise Data Hub. Cloudera 现在新出来的EDH 4和5也是这样子来 call 它这个Hadoop 的一个 platform. It is an enterprise data hub. 那很多人都会有这个问题，说是 OK, everybody talk about Hadoop for 5 years. So how many companies use that? And it really has a lot of user cases. I have to say, from my company, and I see all the others, a lot of the other companies. Almost all companies, no matter it's a big scale or small size company, they all started. Maybe some department of your company has already set up this kind of group, and to research and find real user cases and how to switch the current the data warehousing to the Hadoop platform. 但是确实是从我们公司的情况来看呢，我们公司已经方定了一个5年的一个计划，说是 we will lending every data structured and unstructured, semi-structured to Hadoop first. Then maybe something we will extract it from Hadoop to data warehousing. And the new trend for that you can see from the Apache Hadoop release every 6 months or every 3 or 4 months. 就从每次3、4个月的那个 Apache 的 Hadoop 的 release， 你会看到它每次新的 release， 它的都会有新的一些 feature。这些 feature 本来只可以在 data warehouse 里面你可以看得到，什么 run SQL 啊，还有 SQL 的 efficiency 啊，但是 Hadoop 现在这个平台它有更多的组件，这些组件让 Hadoop 可以更广泛的去 run 各种各样的程序。我现在我 跟那个 Derek 讨论一下how we started Hadoop journey， 因为 Hadoop is really a lot of the small components connected to each other. So 我是这样是 I'm planning this way. I will first to set up the environment for this community. 让大家去 feel okay. 如果我 read a book and I need to do some practical, I think we need to do some practical programming. Then you can really know what is Hadoop. And a lot of people ask me about Java is required to learn Hadoop. For my personal experiences, yes. The answer is yes. Even you can work around, so you write a pig script and you are writing for the Hive, a Hive SQL. But everything is building on the Java. Hadoop is written in Java, and the MapReduce and the Scoop and the Hive is built on the MapReduce. Hive and the Scoop, everything in the pig, the component, high level is built on the MapReduce. So everything is written in Java. So the error message, if you will see, is always using the Java error programming, the log programming. So you have to understand Java. Maybe you don't need to write, but you have to read. Even the future of the Hadoop will be on Spark. It's everything is processing the memory. So Spark may be written in the Scala, but it is better to have a Java as a programming background to learn deeper for the Hadoop and be a real Hadoop developer. Okay. So my session, 有一个事情我想说一下，就是我可能在 present 当中可能说是英文和中文有些切换，因为I also be the trainer for Cloudera training for my company, but it's all in English. So some terminology and is I'm always using the English and 这个首先跟大家说一下，就是如果大家有任何的问题，大家可以用随便可以用英语或者说用中文表达，可能我在表述的上面可能说是有可能是中文和英文会切换。OK， so 就是今天的 session 呢，说是其实是两部分，主要是两部分，一个说是 overview of the user case of Hadoop。那其实我会展现一个，就是说我们公司，我不可能可能是因为 confidential 原因呢，我不能展现所有的一个 diagram 一个 chart for the architecture level， 但是我可以展示一个 mini version and talk about which is kind of the Hadoop framework our company is building. The second step is I will tell how to installation the Hadoop. Maybe everybody think, okay, installation is platform team's work. It is not necessary because I took the Hadoop admin training as well as the dev training. I think it is co-related and it is open source. So it is not saying that if you don't care about the installation, you will be a very good developer. So first of all, I think we need to know which is the Hadoop daemon is running on the Unix and how is Hadoop running. So after that session, you can set up your own environment locally, or you can use the Cloudera virtual machine. So I will share later. So at the end of the January, the session I will talk about the examples running the MapReduce, the Pig, the Hive, the Impala, and the Scoop. I remembered last year that Derek is lead us to read a book that is a Hadoop definition. This book is very famous, and that's the Bible book for the Hadoop world. Everybody reads it. If you can totally understand this book, I think your Hadoop level at least is in the intermediate level. So I highly recommend that everybody can read this book again and to do some exercises on your local machine, or you can set up some things on the cloud and run the Hadoop and feel it. Okay, let me start for the first topic, the overview picture. 在这里呢，大家可以看到这张图，这张彩色的图。It is very old actually. 它是一张是在2012年在一个 Hadoop 的一个 conference 上面被大家讨论的一个图片。其实 it's very old, but it is it's already adopted by a lot of companies. So 在图的左边，你可以看到 the data source is unstructured data and structured data. Okay, so everything is landing to the Hadoop. The Hadoop we call lake. A lot of companies give the Hadoop name is lake. So let me call a Hadoop lake here. So consumers use Hadoop as a staging layer now. So they landing for most unstructured data and semi-structured or fully structured data from all kinds of the sources. What do we do as an engineer, as a developer? We collect it, clean it, aggregate data in Hadoop. Aggregate the data in Hadoop and do the ETL in the Hadoop. And then export either the subset or aggregate or aggregate the version of the to the data warehousing. So everybody can censor what is happening here. So in the long run, data warehousing will partially or totally replaced by the Hadoop sooner or later. This is not what I say. Maybe you do not agree, do not agree, but that is also assuming your word. Okay, so they're saying that everything is too small, so that bigger. Is that better? I hope that is better because 我现在 present 的是这张彩色的图。If I go the second one, I will zoom it and it's bigger. Okay. So sooner or later, data warehousing will have a smaller market. So it is a good time to switch. It is a good time to switch and learn that. I have to say that. Because for our company, we all start to transfer all the ETL using the ab initio and the ETL tool to landing the data to the Hadoop the lake. So I think all the other companies already started to do that as well. So of course, you also can extract the data back to the Hadoop from the data warehousing. It is two sides, two directions. And analyze and some virtual tools like Tableau or like I think Microsoft Office also can connect to the HDFS. They all can build on data warehousing, or you can build it on the Hadoop itself. So it is all available. So that depends on the users. Let's go to the second one. Can I delete that? Okay, I put it here. 现在大家有问题吗？我也不知道这个 ，Let me take a look. OK， 好像暂时大家没有问题哈。我把这个放大一些。如果大家觉得这张图看不见的话，大家再举手跟我说。我现在 continue present my content. So the things what you can see now is a very mini version about what our company is doing. So our companies have various data sources, cloud, internal, external, and all the logs. So we integrate it. So the next layer after the source, we call it the data acquisition layer. So you can have a different type of the data. Audio data, video data, and flat file data. And you know the Hadoop can processing all kinds of data format. So you can do some translate here. The next one is data foundation. It's a Hadoop. So you see, we are not landing to the relational databases anymore. So we are landing to the Hadoop. So, for the Hadoop, everybody has say, okay, how to do the data governance, how to manage the metadata of the Hadoop, so how to make sure the data quality, because all the data sources and you didn't do any validated. Or maybe it have a lot of non-values. How we handle that? So that is why in the lake part, Hadoop Foundation, the layer on the left side, I call it Hadoop framework. So our enterprise team and including me, we are building the Hadoop framework. So what the framework include? We have the metadata control. We have the data registry functionality. So that is the catalog of all the data in the lake. You can say it is kind of the thing of the edge catalog for the Hadoop ecosystem, but it is more functionality. So, for example, for our company, every data landing to the stage area, you have to register it first. So behind that register framework, we have, of course, we have our MySQL databases. So what is this data file name? What is this, is it MPI data or is it non-MPI data? Who is the owner for this data? And what's the source for this data? And what is usage? Who is the downstreams? Everything, this metadata, you need to register first. Then we have another framework called a data ingestion. In a file broker, you can call it. Okay, it will run the command. It's very easily. Just put this data into lake. It is HDFS. So this is just a very easy, how to say it is our Hadoop command to put it in the HDFS that I will show you later today. But the framework is like that. If you not register your metadata of the data set, it won't ingest to. It won't put on HDFS. So in this way, everything in HDFS, you know the metadata of the data. That is how a company to control the metadata. Okay, so because we call it data lake, it is all kinds of data. It has a raw data. So what is raw data? It's unprocessed data. But the majority of the data warehousing data is already cleaned by the source system to some extent. So for the Hadoop, you can accept more sources. You can totally have the raw data and all the columns, everything. You don't need to add one column at a time to the data warehousing, which will take 3 to 4 months maybe. So you put raw data there. So that layer you can call it raw data area. After raw data area, you can have another area like captured region. So now I'm talking different regions. Okay, raw data region and the captured data region. So it is kind of short-term analysis data set. So it is not long-term that you will have forever. It is sometimes, okay, this team, maybe some marketing team, said that I want to use some data from this source for 3 months data analysis. Okay, we do that. We have this kind of capture region on the lake. Lake we call it HDFS. So we can go through that process, and the data will be in the captured region. You can set up the visualization tool like Tableau. Everything's on that. Then your team can start to analyze the data or run some programming on that. That is perfect. It won't take 3 to 4 months. It's for a marketing team say, I need one Oracle databases. But where is the databases? Okay, I asked the DBA to create one, everything like that. Okay, we have already have this pre-designed region is for that purpose. So it saves the time for some team just want to use the data temporarily, right? Of course. So for day-to-day running the ETL, we have something is like called persistent region. This is the landing zone, and which will be regularly flowing into the HDFS. It can be the maybe daily or weekly or monthly. So it is like the currently ETL process. It is it's a landing zone for that. And the further steps, it is the validated data region. So what is a validated region? The validated region is also the regular consumer for the lake, but the data itself has already been transferred. It's already been validated. You have put the security things on this data, and this data is already can tell it's NPI data or it's non-NPI data. So it's already like the data warehousing data. So of course, this kind of ETL things, you will see that bottom up here, we call it the data refinery area. So you can do all the ETL things here. The pick, or I think a MapReduce job is also working here, and Spark is another topic. So all kinds of the ETL. I think the Hadoop platform is good for the batching ETL processing. So after that refineries, you re-insert the data on the HDFS validated data region. So in this way, you have a different three kinds of version of the data. You have the raw data. If some team want to just using the raw data, get the data from there. And you have some captured region that I said before for short-term usage. And also for the validated data that can be used for further data analysis. Maybe you can extract that data to the relational databases. It's Oracle, Teradata, and SQL Server. Who cares? So that's the way that our company is designed. And so you can see from these charts, it is total. It's not totally. It's kind of Hadoop is 80% is replace the current data warehousing. So for the people who are still working on the data warehousing, it's the time for you to start to learning the Hadoop and start your Hadoop journey. And the Hadoop is open source, so it is not like before. You are talking about SSIS, you are talking about SSRS, or you talk about some tool. So it is not a tool anymore. So you need to learn the concept of the distributed system and what is the Java programming, how to processing the data, and how to processing the file, and also think about memory usage of each node. That I will talk about later. So it's kind of that we need to. There is a big learning curve, I have to say, but we will. If the community has this kind of request, we can go step by step to build this knowledge. So I started this kind of thing in 2011. When I'm in the graduate school, my professor asked me, okay, can you do that using the Hadoop? Back to that time, I think the Hadoop is still version 1, Hadoop 1. When I start to install the Hadoop in my local environment, and there's an error message from the Java, I search that. I cannot find some responses thread on the Google, some things like that, because it's not a lot of people using that in installation. But now you can see hundreds of the threads there saying talk about Hadoop, how to do that, and it's almost like a very mature technology. Okay. So for now, any questions? I think I have to stop here because I just talked about high level about where is the Hadoop now and how the majority of the company is using the Hadoop, and how my company is using and design the Hadoop or architecture and the roadmap. So if the people online have some questions, you can ping me, or I don't know how to open your, maybe Derek can help me. So any questions now? Any questions? Derek, do you have a question? I'm not sure that
Yes, we have some
Everybody
questions.
can see.
Question from Helen.
Okay, perfect.
Hortonworks.
Why I cannot? Sorry, why I cannot see the questions, or because
All
only
the
the
questions
organizer can see the
come
question.
to the organizer.
Okay, thank you.
So the first question is
So
from
can you
Helen.
help me?
Do you use Hortonworks?
No. Okay. I'm not using Hortonworks. It's kind of the company choice. You can choose Hortonworks or Cloudera. Unfortunately, so today it doesn't matter. Today I will demo is our Apache Hadoop. But the virtual machine I'm using the Cloudera. So that is how our company is choosing the Cloudera. But the Cloudera, except the Cloudera manager, everything is open source. And except the Impala, everything I think is the same as their Hortonworks. It's all based on the Apache Hadoop version. So it doesn't matter that you're using either or. So if you have a question for the Hadoop and running, I think you can give me the user case. I can run it down on Cloudera VMware. So it doesn't matter.
Okay. The next question comes to be, what's the benefits of Hadoop over the regular data warehouse in the file system?
I think that is a very old topic, okay, scalability or save money or something like, okay, for our companies, we have our data warehousing is very expensive. So we are purchasing the Teradata for storage, and we are purchasing the Ab Initio. So Ab Initio is the most expensive ETL tool. And we're also using the Control-M. Control-M is also not very cheap. So for now, we are wanting using open source. Everything is open source. So that is why I'm saying I'm not teaching any tool anymore. I'm teaching this open source technology. Even for the Hadoop, you will see there's 100, maybe there's 10 vendors for the ETL GUI tool for the Hadoop, like Talent, Panaho, or a lot of I can, and Datamere, something like that. But actually, the performance for seeing now is not that good, and it's how to use it and the flexibility. I feel like if you know the coding and you know the map reduce, it's still better to under that first. Then you can do the GUI later. The benefit for that is okay, it's free. Even it's not that free because learning for the Hadoop is it's very expensive because the company need to train the current existing maybe DW background developer to the Hadoop developer, or find more Hadoop developers around the market. There's not a lot. And the scalability. There's more and more. There's more and more the data. It's because you see each second how many data is generated on Word. So data warehousing you purchasing for the storage like Teradata, I think it will be million or more than millions for that. So our company after I think 10 million or 20 million for the Teradata upgrade. That's two costs. So I think the majority of the consideration is scalability and the cost efficiency, and this is the right way to do. It's not. It is not to say it is data warehousing is better or Hadoop is that better. It's kind of Hadoop that can replace everything, the functionality of the data warehousing soon. So I will say only thing maybe Hive query is not that fast, but Impala and the currently I think Hortonworks has another SQL things is similar to the Impala is running the same time as the relational databases. So we cannot find any reason we continue to using the data warehouse. And even I heard a lot of people saying that, as I said before, each 6 months, each 4 months, Apache Hadoop is releasing new features. Even the Cloudera versions and Hotmos, they are working very hard. They will working on improve the Hadoop platform to the data warehousing and have more capabilities for the Hadoop itself. So why not using Hadoop itself? So it will maybe for my personal, it will replace data warehousing in 2 or 3 years.
All right, last question in this time period from Amanda. Could you recommend some good books, good Hadoop books in Chinese?
In Chinese, I think each version, Hadoop version has a book has its Chinese version. But I said that Derek picked a very, very, very good book last year. It is called Hadoop Definition. So it is the Bible. It's like Kimball's work for the data warehousing. If you are trying to learn Hadoop, you have to learn this book. Its name is Hadoop Definition. I personally read it once, and it's very helpful. I actually read it twice. The first time that I read it, maybe 1 or 2 years ago, I didn't feel anything. Okay, I just read it. But when I read it again this year, I feel different because a lot of the thoughts just connect. And then when I go to the San Francisco to attend some of the Cloudera dev trainings, and a lot of people, even from Google, they all think this is pretty good book. Yes, I have it. It is a little bit hard to read, but I think maybe next time we can have some people to guide this team or this the community to read, because this book still a little bit hard and complicated. It needs more maybe explanation. Yeah, that's it.
All right, that's all the question we have so far. And just one correction: the book name is Hadoop Definitive Guide.
Okay.
Keep going. I'll keep the question to the end. If you still have question, yeah, just ask. I will keep the question in the end and let Serena to answer. All right?
Okay. So if you have questions, you can type to the organizer. And Derek, if you think that the questions is very related to what I'm a demo here, you just stop me and I can answer these questions.
Sure, I will. Thank you.
Let me continue. Because this is the topic about installations, I have to introduce again about Hadoop components, even this has been mentioned hundreds of the times. But if I not mentioned here, no one will know what I'm doing later, okay? Two main functions for the Hadoop is, of course, HDFS, Hadoop Distributed File System, MapReduce. This is the Hadoop core components. HDFS is written by Google, for sure. It's written in Java. So if you say Java is optional, no, Java, if you want to be a real Hadoop developer, you have to learn Java, but that depends on you. And MapReduce also, okay, in Java, written in Java. But in future, MapReduce will be replaced by the Spark. Everything is processing the memory. So Spark is not building, I think it's not written in Java, it's in Scala. So, but it's still programming. It is good to learn both. And still HDFS, Spark is running on HDFS. So HDFS still written in the Java. Okay? So it is good to learn Java, or better to know about Java. Based on the MapReduce, okay, Scoop is it's kind of the tool or component itself. You can read the data from the relational databases. Okay, I think he has the drivers for the Teradata, and yes, have the drivers for. I hope it have drivers for their SQL Server. I didn't try that, but I have tried for Teradata and Oracle, I'm sure. But whether you need to use Scoop or not, I'm not recommended to really using Scoop to extract data from the relational databases to the HDFS. Why? Because it's written by the, I think by the Apache some group. It is a project. Actually, each database itself, they are reading some driver. They either is ODBC driver or it's a JDBC driver. The performance is much better than the Scoop because it's dedicated for these relational databases. Scoop background is using the JDBC. So for the so you can do some exercises using the Scoop to feel that you can extract the data from the relational database into the HDFS. But real project, you are using the Scoop or not, I'm not highly recommend that. Even our company is not using that. We are using the parallel processing. It's a kind of the Teradata utility tool. So it's using the JDBC itself. So, so we are not using Scoop directly. So just if your company is using that, you can use it, try using the Scoop, but its performance is I'm not recommended. Only default is run for MapReduce job. So that depends you. You need to feel that, then you have that knowledge. Then based on that knowledge, you can choose the right way and have better performances to do data ingestion from the relational databases. I personally not use it. I just see someone is doing the demo for that. It's for the machine learning. So I'm a developer, so I'm not using that. I have no other comments on that. So Hive is okay. It's Hadoop data warehousing layer, I can say that, but there it is batch processing. Everybody's saying it's too slow. Of course, it's running on MapReduce. Okay, the other versions for the improved versions for that is Impala. The Impala for now, the current version is a little bit unstable. So if you join the 1 gigabyte data with another 1 gigabyte data, maybe it's their whole oh, it's something is okay. That's true. So I do really have a lot to talk about. It seems that the time is not allowing me to do that. So let me continue anyway. Impala. So Impala is totally developed by the Cloudera. So it is installed on the data node as well. So it's consuming a lot of the memory. It is required 32 gigabytes for the memory for each node. It's quite a lot. So Pig is you can call it the data processing language. It's running on the MapReduce. So for my second session, actually I will talk about the Scoop, Hive, Pig, HBase, maybe not. OZ, everything, each component for one example, let you actually feel what is this component do. Okay, I cannot go further because the time limitation. Let me go this second. Okay, Hadoop daemon. I have to mention that part because if the Hadoop is running, what is actually running there? So they have the name node, data node, job tracker, task tracker, secondary name node. This is a Hadoop version 1. I hope that I have a chance to talk about Hadoop version 2 that has a YARN management. But let's start for the Hadoop version 1 because this is the most version that the people is familiar with now. So the name node, data node, job tracker, there's nothing. That is just launching a JVM. So these 5 JVM has to be launched on your server. In this case, Hadoop is up. So I'm not quite sure everybody is understanding the daemon means. It is always using the Unix system. Maybe people is from background Windows not understand that very well. But okay, just it is a process that is it's launching the JVM. You just to understand that. So if the data node task tracker, everything is running up, how much memory your servers need to launch all these 5 things? Data node by default is 1 gigabyte, and task tracker included as another 1 gigabyte. So, and for each data node, Hadoop with by default is a 2 map job, 2 reduce job. So let's count. This is a work node. You can call it a slave node or it's the data node. How many JVM we need to launch? 6, totally 6. Okay. So for the resources, currently it's needed at least for each node you need 2.8 gigabytes for the memory. So why I mentioned here is later I will demo you how to install that in, from the cloud. It will let you choose what the resources, memory you need for your instance. So this is the basic questions you have to understand. Okay, Hadoop access. Okay, I skip on that. Okay, Hadoop versions. I have to mention what is Hadoop versions. So we heard Hadoop 1, Hadoop 2. Almost everybody is using Hadoop 2. It's based on Yarn, and it's a MapReduce 2. So for the Java application APIs, it's a very, very little differences, but they add Yarn for resource management. But today's demo is based on the Hadoop 1, so it is MapReduce 1. So the current version I'm listed here is, it's a very stable version for 1 and 2. So if you want to download some things, please download the stable versions because they have very, very frequently versions and releases. You can find in the Hadoop, Apache Hadoop website. But these two versions, 1.2 and 2.6, is very stable one. Okay. Whew, I think, if the session started at 9, I only have 10 minutes, but I haven't officially started. Okay. Everybody's currently you can see is Amazon Web Services. I hope everybody already have a chance. I have an account there. If you don't have an account, please register one, and it will ask you to put your credit card payment, but it won't charge until you use the paid services. Okay, so I have already registered, and this is my own account. And for that, you click on the EC2, and let's see the instances. Actually, that's the current instance I have. 2 is actually is running. So let me start from scratch. So how to install that? Maybe this is also a good example for you to understand the Amazon Web Service. So let's click on the AWS Market. So now what I'm to do is I want to download one image that installed Unix the system. So you can using the Red Hat, you can using the Ubuntu, but now the standard is this one. So let me correct on that. So. So I think I will using this version and the link 6.0 as the instance. Let me search on that. Yeah, yes, this is the one. And you will see the Cloudera is also using this this vendor, so you can use this as a vendor as well. So I don't think everything is pretty standardized. Okay, I just click on that. You will see the micro instances. Okay, what is the micro instances? It says only have a 0.6 gigabyte memory. Is that required? Is it the meet our requirement of the installation of the Hadoop? Of course, no. So nothing is free actually. So, but when you do the installation and you want to play by yourself, you can just choosing the micro instances and to fill it. And after you fully confident for what you are doing, I think we can do something is a big one. It's a 4 gigabytes. It's I think it is at least, because one instance we at least need 2.8. Okay, so go to the next configurations. Okay, if we build a cluster, I will put the numbers here. So if this community has this kind of budget, we can build our own clusters here. So I think I will talk with Derek to see if there any budget we can purchase this as our a practice platform, and everybody can play and can feel that, and we also can have some sessions based on this platform. This is the future topic. So currently I just put the number of instances 1. So this is a single node, nothing else. Okay, add the storage. Okay, 8. So you can go and this. Okay, everything is okay. Review. Let's review that. So it's pretty easy and almost okay. SSH TCP. So that is how I will communicate to that. Let's do just a launch. Okay, this is very interesting. So how you communicate to that? You need to create the public and the private key. So you can create a new key here. That is why you can import from your PuTTY. So it is a training. I just give it a training, and let's download it. You have to download it because it's the one you will use it later. Launch this instance. You will see that very quickly. Okay, let's view. Okay, that's not the thing. No, we will go through. View all my instances. Okay. Okay. This is my new one. It's pending one. It's initializing. So to save, it will take us 5 minutes to launching this. So you need to see the status. It's from instance status is pending to running. And you have to see that the status check have to select 2 checks. That means it's ready to use. So I know this will take time, so I have already set up one by myself before our session, so we can use it because it's ready to use. Okay, so what else you need? It's a PuTTY. I'm not quite sure everybody has used this or not, so it will open the connection that's using the SSH communication. So the port is 22. What do we exactly need to do is here is your address. Let's click on the PuTTY. I think I have already opened one, and it puts in the host name. This is the host name for your cloud. And what else? Authorizations. Okay. You remember at the first time I launched this instance, I saved the key. So actually, I need to importing the key. This is a private key. I'm doing that. So because this I'm using the instance I already set up, so you won't see some messages pop up. It will already let you do that because I already logged in already. So for this one, it's always the username is root, okay? So if you're using the Ubuntu, the username is Ubuntu. So it's different for the different the instance. Okay. Let's see. Actually, this is all the preparation I have done. So I'll create the private key and import the key, and also set up the SSH access, and okay, and also the Java. That is very important because Hadoop is written in the Java. You have to download the Java. So when you launch this instance, Java is not there. So actually, I'm doing this command to install the Java version. It's a JDK. GRE is not how to say it, it's not meets all the requirements. Everything in the JDK is more than everything is more than the GRE. So you can using the 1.6 version, but you need to check. So which Hadoop version is support what version of the Java? Okay. So let's check what how about, okay, you will see the Java already installed here. Okay, let's go to see, okay. So now we go to this director. This is okay. And let's download this. What I'm doing now, I'm downloading the version of 1.2.1, this Hadoop. Oh, I see. I didn't install this. This you need to be installed first. Okay, already installed. Nothing to do. Okay, what is from here? 1 second. Oh, the web is web common. Oh, I see. That's because it's 3. When I copy paste, it's not copy paste right. I copy paste there. That will be right. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it now. Now it's downloading now, so it won't take that long time because the package it's not that big. So meanwhile, it's downloading. Anyone has questions or? So for the preparation for the Hadoop, you need to have the PuTTY to access to your the cloud, and you have to set up the private key and the public key, and you need to have the JDK installed. And that's it. So I think that is most all about the pre-preparation for installed Hadoop. Any questions here?
Quick question. Did you buy the service? Did you buy the account from the Amazon? Oh, it's a free account.
I am not buying it. You can use in the Amazon account. Actually, I'm just enable this service. So, okay, come to here. So, if you are new to that, it will have you to ask you sign up for the services. Sign up for the AWS. It will be there. It will ask you to put the credit card information there, but it won't be charged. Only you use the paid service.
Okay.
I'm not buying anything. I just put my credit card information there, and it will be activated. But it will each services it will have the rate. So the one I'm using is a micro instances. It's very small. So it is first. It's a free tier that you can see. So free tier means it's free for 1 year for the first time I'm using that. But even if it is a very micro one, but it will charge for the second year.
Okay.
So it's actually nothing is free, but it's free for you to test it and to play it. Yes. Any other questions? Okay, it's already downloaded. Oh, okay, perfect. So what the next is unzip it. Perfect. Uh-oh. Okay, everybody can see that. Okay, the one that's what I created before. It's already ready to use. It's running and it's all passed the checks. So it is very quickly. So if you are trying to launch in some instances, Amazon Web Services can give you maybe 5 minutes. You can have your own servers and maybe 4 servers. Everything is very quick. That is what we call the cloud service, right? Okay, actually, I think this is the one what I'm using. Okay, it's unzipped. So I'm not very good at the VI, so I'm only doing one thing, WinSCP. I think everybody from the Windows background will need this the tool. So what is that exactly can help us? Of course, let me to do the optimization first. The same thing, because I need to connect it to my instances on the cloud. I need to give the password. This is my private key. I think I'm using this one. Log in. It's so slow today. Where'd it go? Maybe because I'm launching this, so suspend it. Let me close this virtual machine. I don't know what had happened, and it seems just to close it. Let me do that again. So that's you see not very good things you can see if you, okay, it comes. So my personal for this is 8 gigabyte, but if I'm running on for the virtual machine, I give it a 3.5, so it's eat a lot of my memory, so the whole desktop is very slow. Whew. Okay, so let me do one thing. Okay. What I'm to do is set up the path. Okay, let's read it. What is I'm doing? So I'm export the Hadoop home user local Hadoop 1.1. So it is a whole Hadoop home. So let's see. Actually, oh man, I don't know how to close this. Can I close this? So I will log off. I'm not quite sure. So let's see. Okay. Everything is very slow today. Okay, everything is there, perfect. So what is a Hadoop home? It is the same thing, and you set up in the Windows for the system environment, and export the Java, and in this way, you can running everything like Hadoop command. You don't need to do, because every command you can see is in the bin. Let's see. Okay, this is a Hadoop command. So you will run the command like Hadoop fs-ls, something like that. If you set it up, okay, every time you don't need to go to bin directly to running Hadoop things. Hadoop command. So what I need to do is put in the bash. So I'm not quite sure everybody is understanding what is bash. It is kind of every time you log in, it will automatically to export it to your path. Let him save it. It's kind of, I'm running out of the time. Just give me a second. Okay. So this is again, this is your, because we are using, I think, the bash or the Unix, so you put here every time you log in as a root, so it will be automatic. You don't need to key the command like export every time. If you log in your root, it will automatically export the Hadoop parse to your path. So I don't want to close that. But I need to do relaunching this one. because I need to let that batch take effect. So this is my address. I go to the authorizations. I put this there, the key files. Yes, like what I did is Java home. Okay, it's there. It works. And also, let me check for the Hadoop home. Perfect. It totally works. Okay, what is next step? I think the next step is configuration files. So let's take a look. Okay, that is very important. Create a temp directory for Hadoop data storage. So you may notice that the Hadoop had the MapReduce had different phases. They have the shuffle. So this is a temporary places. You will let the each local one to processing their temporary data. So you have to use this, have to make a folder for that. Okay, and the configuration files. Okay, because configuration files is different for the Hadoop 1 and 2, but the basic knowledge is the same. So let's see. First of all, you need to tell in the Hadoop environment message. So let's go from here. Okay, this is the configuration file. This is the location of it is. So everybody can see WinSAP is very easy, right? It is like Windows. It's like Windows. You can click and find the directory you want. And this, you can see all the rights. You don't need to do some command. So that I like it. It's very easy for presenting as well. If I'm typing, the feedback always saying, okay, can you do it slower? And I cannot follow that. So here is the kind of the good thing for the Windows user background. So here I need to find Hadoop environment as such. It is here. Let's edit that. So what do we need to put there? We need to tell where is the JDK. So actually, it's comments out here because it's a template when you install that version, but you need to put what is your service JDK path there. Let me do that. So I think this is the one. Export Java class path. This is kind of overlapping about my I set up before, but it is good to recommend that you put it here. Okay, and the second one is called site. That is okay. There are two things we need to put there, like here. So it's a Hadoop temp dir. What is that for? Is it for the MapReduce? So if your MapReduce is running, where is MapReduce metadata? Where is it put it there? They happen to have a directory. So this is directly one put there. So you can put it everywhere you want. So when your administrator is handling the whole cluster, it is the decision by the administrator and the platform team. So for here, this is just the properties. And also here, 54310 is a URI for the HDFS. If you go to that link, you will see, I think you will see your HDFS from your web server. Okay, this is a call. Let's find it. Okay, this here. You see everything downloaded here is empty. I don't have the time for the formatting, so I think it didn't matter, so I just save it. MapReduce. This is also very interesting, very important one. This is a job tracker. So if you go to this website, and actually, because you are not installed the Unix local, so you cannot type in that the local and 54311 as a port, and you can see that. But it's if you have your Unix local and you have a dual system, it's either you will launch that. Actually, I can show that in the virtual machine later, and let us see. So this is the web page. You will see everything's Java is running and see the logs. You can just click and drill down to the more detailed information. Okay, this map site. I think I already saved it, right? Okay. Okay, let me save it again. Okay, just complete it. Take a check. It is working. Yes, everything is saved. I just double check. Property configuration, configuring call. So for the Hadoop version 2, the configuration file's name is a little bit different. And actually, it has 100 of the parameters there. It is not just like single as what I showed today. For the if you are 10 for the Hadoop at the main class, it will tell you each of the parameters how you set it up. It's not that easy. So today we just go to the easy version. So it's, as I said before, Hadoop is a lot of things. It's very hard to share the knowledge in one session. Actually, I haven't had a chance to go deeper, but it's already using the 1 hour now. Okay, property. Okay, everything is done. So this step, we are doing the configuration files. Let's see the next. I think next is we need to go to formatting our. Yes, that's true. We need to, well, let's go to that director, the name formatting, okay? Is the directory? Oh. Let me go to so
that's local.
Yes, I write this.
The wrong spell local.
Okay. Oh, sorry for that. Okay, so I need to do. Oh, it's very slow here. Let me just Hadoop the demo formatting. So what is that doing? So don't do that when you're shut down. Yes, when your Hadoop is running, so it will running everything and clean all the metadata and gets everything is erased. So that's kind of the disk reformat. This is the same thing. So that's what I did. So now, as I said before, we are now in the bin. So you will see there is our something. So we call it start all the services. We just run that. So everything that we did is pretty easy. You see, we do install Java, and what we do is do the configuration for the Hadoop, and I'll log into that. Actually, I think I'm missing one step. I'm not quite sure because I didn't tell the Hadoop that is only one replication. I just remembered. Let me see. That's very interesting. If I'm not tell, it's a. Let me take a look. Let's go. Where is it? Here. Yes, I didn't. So before I do that, I didn't do this. So actually, because everybody will know that the default of the Hadoop will have 3 copies. But because there's one single node, there's no meaning to have 3 copies. I just have 1 copy here. I forgot to put it here before I format that. I don't think it will work. Let me to reformat that again. Okay, then we started because we started before I reformatted. So okay. Okay, that's the time to check what is exactly it's running. So while I'm it's only can check for the Java. How many Java sessions is running now? Let's take a look. It's running or not? Yes, it's running. So this is the 1010. This is all the Hadoop the pods is running. That's great. So actually, I think I'm a little bit over. So what I'm trying to do next is to showing one example of the running the MapReduce, but I think I can put it in the next session because this is very easy example for how to input into the HDFS. I can share this information later when I'm talking about MapReduce example. Sorry for make that session so long. Any questions here for the installation about Hadoop?
All right, thank you. It's a very informative session, actually. I'm still waiting for some questions come up. It's a very good session, actually. I did not know how to set up the Hadoop over the Cloudera. I mean, our own service. Sorry. Yeah, it's very informative.
Next time, I think I will set up some things for like launching the VMware. So everybody can do some preparation. Is downloading the link here, like it's a quick start VM for the CDH 4.6. This is you need to install VMware first. This is the virtual machines for Cloudera or Hadoop. We can run it either on the virtual machine or for the cloud version. But the cloud version, you see, our resources is very, very limited. So it is we won't get a very good performance for that. Only we set up real clusters, you can feel what is the Hadoop. So I'm not really recommending this way, but I think I show you the way that you can do it by yourself. But you need to just pay a little bit of money, or if you want to do some small business, something that you can just borrow some spaces from the Amazon.
Sure. I see some questions. They both ask whether the document will be available or not. So I can answer the question. Video, right now we are recording, and the document, I'm pretty sure Serena will pass to me by email. So after this session, I probably will make the documents and the video available probably by the end of tomorrow. So you will receive the link to get the resources.
Sure. So, and I think personally, I don't know what's the questions for majority of the people. So if you can give some feedback and you can email that Derek saying that this is the user cases you want to know, and this is the components you want to see how it works. I will make that happen maybe in the next session and give the user and the audience saying, okay, this is how the industry will use it. It's not based on the book. It's always based on how industry is using it. Today's session is just the very entry level, I have to say, because I don't know what's the level for the whole community group. So if you have some requirements and you want to discuss with me, or you want to learn some specific about the Hadoop, we can. It is open, so you can share me this information, and I will definitely will. If I don't know that, I will research on that. If I know that, I will share my experience.
All right. The other question we have, Xiaoyang. It seemed to be very complicated, the process to install Hadoop. Wow. Actually, it's not. Just wget. Just wget. When you launch the CentOS on Amazon service, you just run the command wget and install the Java. To me, it's really not complicated. What's your comment on that?
Yeah, it's not complicated. Make it even easier. So if you are launching the cluster, you need to set up SSH. It's a passwordless communication between the nodes. So it is even more steps. So as I said before, learning the Hadoop is a big learning curve. If you come from kind of the tool background or some data background, it will take time to understand that. But if you really want to convert your career path to Hadoop, it will take time to build it. So it is good to learn it from now. And you have any questions, you can ask this community. It is a very good place to ask for any help. Okay?
All right. That's the other question I have. So you will receive the survey in 1 hour. It's automatically sent over by the GoToMeeting assistant. So when we receive the survey, we do want to know your comments and your voices. We try to do the community better. So give us your feedback, and in the survey, I will do the lucky draw. I hope you will be lucky and get 25 credits. Okay, that's today's session. If you still have questions, email me, or you can put the question on the community. That's it. Thank you so much, everybody.